From the Pep Radio Newsroom, these are the stories we are covering at this hour. A possible change in policy for LGBTQ plus issues is looming at the Penn Manor School District in Lancaster County. Some parents at the school district are not happy with the proposal, as they are concerned the policy could create a divide between students and staff, including putting LGBTQ plus youth in danger. When asked about the impending policy changes, Penn Manor parent Maureen Helfrich said, "There are two policies, but the one most concerning to me is 216.2, which talks about students' gender identity, including their name, their chosen name, and pronouns usage." The policy, constructed by the Independence Law Center, was provided to the school board last month. It lays out how students can formally request a name or pronoun change on school records. However, some are confused by the language on the documents. It reads, even after an approved name change, the school would not force teachers or other students to use any language that goes against their beliefs. They also can't repeatedly call a student by their unwanted name either. Amber Roadcap, the executive director of the LGBT Center of Central Pennsylvania, said, "When we talk about a teacher saying my name is Mrs., Ms., or Mr., but we've all had teachers say you can call me X, Y, and Z. Or again, same thing with any other student. They would not have to stand up to advocate for themselves in that way, to simply be honored for who they are." Superintendent Philip Gale says at this time the board is working through its normal process for policies like this one. They will likely vote on the matter at their next meeting on October 21st. LGBTQ Nation is reporting that MAGA social media influencers are spreading a lie from a parody account on X claiming that Gay Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is HIV positive. While nothing substantiates this claim, right-wingers have been recirculating it to make sexually explicit homophobic attacks. In response, his husband, Chasten Buttigieg, urged his own social media followers to keep working to elect the Democratic presidential nominee, Vice President Kamala Harris. The lie originated from an October 1st post by the X account Breaking 911. The post simply read, "Breaking, Pete Buttigieg reveals that he is HIV positive." The post did not link to or mention any sources. The account's bio says, "The King of the Gays, parody artist. If you fell for my bait, you owe me $8. The post has since been reshared from the account at least 795 times and viewed over 1 million times as of Thursday evening. The account has since posted other false headlines, including ones that former President Donald Trump's wife filed for divorce, the Pope resigned, and that Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz was accused of sexual assault. None of these claims are true. Gay political strategist Tim Miller noted in an X post about viral right-wing misinformation on social media and had this to say, "Today, I saw a MAGA pundit credulously share a post about Secretary Pete having HIV. 500,000 views. My husband's high school friend shared an artificial intelligence-generated pic of Trump wading through the water during hurricane relief and asked why media wasn't covering. Pretty concerning view into MAGA info space pre-election." Chasten Buttigieg reposted Miller's message on X and commented, "This is not how you win hearts and minds. Stay the course, folks. Keep telling your stories, having the hard conversations, and knocking doors. They've got lies. We've got momentum." And finally, in today's news, transgender Texans who have had the gender markers changed on their IDs may now be at risk of having that change reversed. In a recent letter to Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, Texas Department of Public Safety Director Stephen McCraw asked whether government agencies could correct people's gender markers that had been changed due to what McCraw referred to as their perceived gender identity. He explicitly asked if it was okay to make these corrections even when the change was done with a court order. In August, DPS revoked trans folks' abilities to change the gender markers on their IDs, even when they have a court order or amended birth certificate. A few weeks later, The state eliminated the ability for transgender people to alter the sex marker on their birth certificates. McCraw's letter, seeking to take the restrictions even further, refers to sex as a binary and fixed biological fact, negating the existence of intersex folks. He also adds that he does not agree there is a difference between sex and gender, saying, quote, medical or surgical treatment cannot change chromosomal biology. The practice of allowing trans people to change their gender markers, he wrote, referring to news reports he read, seems to be part of a years-long and statewide effort to alter government records to reflect gender identity. That involves coaching trans folks to say they need corrections on their IDs rather than changes. McCraw wrote that DPS may have changed people's gender markers based on illegal court orders, and as such seeks permission from Paxton to correct this inaccurate sex information. Trans journalist Aaron Reed called the threat a significant escalation in policies targeting transgender adults. To learn more about these news stories, click on the links on the PEP Radio news page. But for now, let's get back to more music here on PEP Radio.